The president met today with Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House. The president put his own Truth Social readout on the meeting afterwards, and it's pretty clear that they're looking to degrade the Iranian nuclear program. The Israelis are concerned about the Iranian missile program for sure, and there's more hardware, according to the Wall Street Journal tonight, more ship and other assets, U.S. military assets headed to the region, which the president told Larry Kudlow in an interview that aired yesterday that might happen. The president still, and the vice president spoke to this as well today, preserving all his options, would prefer this to be a peaceful solution, but is willing to use military force if needed. Here is Scott Bessent on Fox, I believe, earlier today, talking about Iran and use of force. Number 16, please.
Mr. Secretary, I want to ask you about Iran because the Treasury Department has been very involved in the situation going on there with sanctions. Recently, there was a run on one of the Iranian banks. It failed. You've said that the rats are jumping ship. The U.S. is involved in talks, negotiations with Iran now. Iran doesn't want to give up its ballistic missile program. It doesn't want to give up its malign support for actors or support for malign actors in the Middle East. How do you see this working all out? Is there going to be a negotiated settlement here, or is President Trump going to have to pull the trigger on another Midnight Hammer style operation?
Yeah, I'm not going to get out ahead of Special Envoy Witkoff. Prime Minister Netanyahu is over at the White House today. He and President Trump are having very detailed talks. And as always, President has an open mind. And as he said, he believes that he can get a much better deal from the Iranians now after Operation Midnight Hammer on June 22nd. But it's up to the Iranians. The president and Secretary Hegseth are moving military assets toward Iran, and they're going to have some decisions to make. What I will tell you is that the president last March gave me the order via Treasury to exert maximum pressure on the Iranians, and it worked. Someone asked me over the weekend, do sanctions work? And I can tell you what doesn't work. It was handing the Iranian regime, trying to buy them off with pallets of cash. What the Iranians understand is brute force, whether it's in the financial markets, whether it's on the military field. And at Treasury, we have exercised maximum pressure. We're continuing to do that. And there will be a point, if there is some kind of a change there, we are tracking the Iranian leadership, the money that they're sending around the world. And if we are called upon, we will recover it for the Iranian people.
Got it.
Katie, do you feel America's under any pressure to strike, or time's on the president's side and he can let the Witkoff and Jared Kushner play this out?
Well, I felt there was pressure a few weeks ago when, of course, he put out a social media message saying, help is coming to the Iranian people. And they took that to mean one thing. And it proved to be not what many were expecting. So the protests, Donald Trump said he didn't need to step in, of course, because some of the executions weren't happening, but lots of people thought that was going to mean strikes and the US getting more involved in a new Iran. Since then, I think there is a feeling when you speak to figures in the administration that it is ratcheting up and he may do something. But we know this is a president who likes to boast about the art of the deal and has also said the biggest problem with US foreign policy is the fact that it is often too predictable. Presidents say what they're going to do, Obama, Syria, and then do it, and that's the worst thing you could possibly do in this instance. So I think the truth is we don't know, but I certainly think, having spoken to a few senior people recently, that there is some trepidation over what move he might do, because the point that's been made to me is this is very different to Venezuela. If you do get involved and there is some type of regime change, you can't really do, you might go for Maduro's number two and you can get them on side for various reasons. There's not really an Ayatollah deputy that isn't saying death to the West.
Yeah.
So and it's a much bigger country, of course.
Let me show you, Lindsay, another Polymarket from our partners at Polymarket. Will next strikes on Iran, number 17. Will they be, let's see here, no strike by February 28th is 82%. And you can see earlier strikes, and it's what is it, February 11th? Is that what today is?
Yes.
11th. So Polymarket wagers are thinking very low likelihood of a strike. That seems extremely off to me, based on what I know, with all that firepower in the region. Are the Polymarket wagers off, Lindsay, or are they onto something?
Well, I think a lot of people don't pay attention to foreign policy probably enough. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see who those people are that weighed in, maybe. But I can tell you one thing about Trump, and it's what Katie said. He always says that he makes the decision at the last minute, but he does forecast what he's going to do usually. And we saw this with Operation Midnight Hammer. But also, he was playing a game with everybody in Netanyahu and behind the scenes. He pretty much said, I'm going to give them, I can't remember what it was, like 5 days or 2 weeks, I believe it was. And then it was 48 hours later, he struck Iran. So the other thing about Trump is it's very interesting. He has more of a familiarity and I would say a confidence in the military with precision strikes. And that makes me lean more towards a precision strike, even though I would say from my time talking to people in the administration, he really does want a negotiation at the end of the day. He prides himself on his negotiating skills. And if he can get some great negotiating done, then he would do it. But we haven't seen that from Iran because really the red line for them is stopping enriching uranium. And they've said that's a no-go for them. And that is what the administration has been asking. I will say last thing here, Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Trump, I do not believe are on the same page on this issue because Netanyahu really wants to take out Iran as much as he can and use military power. I mean, they're the ones who funded the proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, who attacked them. And so it's personal to him. When to Trump, it's not so personal. It's more strategic.
Yeah, well said. Right now, you can get 20% off everything on the Cozy Earth website. Bubble cuddle blanket, sheets, towels, pillows, pants, everything on there, 20% off. And if you haven't tried anything from Cozy Earth, now's a good opportunity to buy yourself one thing, and you'll see how different it is than other things you own. Softer, more luxurious, and yet very affordable. 20% off. Go to CozyEarth.com. Use the promo code two-way. Buy yourself the Baja bedding sheet. Buy yourself the bubble cuddle blanket, the Luxe bath towels, or the pants. If you're a man and you don't own the pants, you're making a big mistake. It's just as simple as that. You can wear them anywhere. They're comfortable. They fit great. I can't tell you how much of my day is spent responding to emails. Yes, yes, yes. The pants have changed your life. Buy one, then send me the email. I'll happily send you the yes, yes, yes email. Be my pleasure. Again, go to CozyEarth.com, promo code two-way for 20% off everything on the site. CozyEarth.com. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and two-way tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.